What's going on? Born for Sports. And we've come to another day and another Knicks win, baby. The New York Knicks. Once again, bouncing back after a tough loss. They go out there and they have beaten the Pacers in a big-time performance, man. Just a big-time performance. I love what I saw tonight, man. I tell you, these Knicks, they go out there and they just put up a stink job against the Boston Celtics on Saturday night. Just get outplayed, man. And they go out and they bounce back. That's one thing that this team has shown, that they're having a tough time beating elite teams. And when I think we have to be careful with the word elite, though, as in my opinion, the only elite teams right now, in my opinion, are OKC and Boston. And if you want to put Cleveland in there, I guess you could put them in there because they're having a really good year and they're a really good team. But the Knicks will see them again soon, and it'll be a test. So they have not beaten those three teams yet, but they have done a good job against everyone else, especially after a tough one. They got the job done tonight. 128-115. They now move to 35-18 on the season. And, yay, listen. You can't go wrong with what happened tonight, man. It was a real good game, a real good performance, man. And they stopped a losing streak in Indiana. They lost 5 straight games over there, you know. And I know Indiana did not have Miles Turner, which is a big part of their team. You know, they're big, and you know what? That's what the matchup dictated. And for a lot of reasons tonight, player of the game, Cat, Karl-Anthony Towns. Okay, 40 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. This was a Karl-Anthony Towns game tonight for the Knicks, and a much-needed one they needed tonight. Okay, much needed, because our captain had a tough night tonight. You know, he had a tough night tonight. I mean, Jalen Brunson, he was in foul trouble. Just an uncharacteristic performance from our captain tonight, man. And I thought it was important. I thought it was important that someone step up and everyone kind of pick up the pace. And there was 2 guys tonight that stepped up individually, and another fact that we're going to get into in a moment, which was a big part, I thought. Okay? But Jalen Brunson, our captain, 8.7 assists in only 22 minutes because of foul trouble. He had 5 fouls. First of all, he hits his first shot, and then he went on to miss 7 straight shots. Just had a tough time getting going tonight, and then got into early foul trouble in the first half. So most of the first half, he was sitting on the bench. And then in the third quarter, early in the third quarter, just picked up 2 bad fouls so early in the game, in the third quarter, out the half. And it really could have cost the team. But when you got an all-NBA player on your team, okay, and a guy that's starting the All-Star game, this is the kind of performance you expect from him, to step up when the team needed and show, hey, listen, Cap, you ain't got it tonight, tough one, but I got it tonight. And that's what Karl-Anthony Towns did tonight. 40 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, just a dominant performance. Clearly the best player on the floor tonight. For the most part, stayed away from the bad fouls until late. You know, he finished the game with 5 fouls, but late in the game, when the game was decided, he kind of had a little ticky-tacky foul here and there. But I thought a big performance from Karl-Anthony Towns tonight, man. He really played well tonight, man. And we needed every bit of it. And listen, he's been up and down since this finger injury he's been playing through. He's been kind of inconsistent the last, I would say, 10 games since this injury has happened. He's playing through it. He's giving it what he's got. I thought he had a weak performance the other night against Boston. Just a weak performance the other night. And, a lot of things didn't go right against Boston that night, as they clearly have our number. We're clearly not on their level to beat them yet. But, hey, The man bounced back big time when we needed it. And that's what you want to see from your all-star, all-NBA player, man. Let's go to the chat. Cliff is always checking in. What's goody, Cliff? What's goody, man? Big performance tonight. Much needed win for the team tonight, and especially from Karl Anthony Towns, man. And a lot of key players, man. There's a lot of key players that played a part tonight. You know, Indiana. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. They're a bunch of frauds to me, man. I'm gonna just say it. They a bunch of frauds, bro. Bunch of frauds to me. They're a solid team, but they're not on that level. And I'm telling you right now, it digs at me every day that we did not beat them in that 7-game series last year when we were playing with an injured team and everybody went out in game 7 and got hurt. They're just such a fraudulent team. I had to hear all summer how, the pace is this, the pace is that. They had a smooth ride playing the marquee teams above them, okay, with injured stars and injured team. They benefited from that. Barely beat us in 7 games and had to see Reggie Miller smiling about it and all of that. But listen, Halliburton is not that guy that everybody try to make it out seem to be, man. He just ain't that guy. He's not. Okay, and when the Knicks are on their game, they're clearly the better team. And we didn't have OG Anunoby tonight. We didn't have they could talk about what they didn't have either. Turner, okay, fine. Hey, big part of their team, I guess. But listen, we didn't have OG tonight. Bigfoot Mitch, he hasn't ready to play yet. Okay, and Jalen Brunson really didn't factor in this game, and we still beat them comfortably tonight. Comfortably, okay. You know what was the big? Let me go to the largest lead of the game tonight for the Knicks, despite all those factors. Their largest lead of the game was 21 tonight, okay, and it was late in the game too, okay. All that making it a 13-point win was just fodder from the bench, closing it out. But we knew who were the better team tonight. With all those factors, still showed it, and I'm just happy with that performance. We needed this win. I don't know who had it worse. Knicks losing to the Leprechauns, Chiefs to lose to those Birds, or Drake. Listen, man, I'm going to be honest. Giants fans had it worse. Giant fans had it worse, bro. And it kills me to say it. I'm pissed off this season with the Giants, man, of how everything that went wrong, that could have went wrong this year. And the cherry on top, the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. It just eats my soul that this happened this year, this kind of season. That's a story for another day. Trust me. The Giants and the fans have had it worse than all of that, man. Now seeing our arch rival, who we let Saquon go to, our best player, go to their team and all of that, and 2,100 yards and a Super Bowl championship. Nobody has it us, and we got to wear that. I'll just say this quickly on the Giants. We got to wear it, man. We were the joke of the league this year based on what the moves we made, the season we had, and the fact that we are looking for a quarterback coming off of what we're coming off, and then seeing our arch rival win the Super Bowl in comfortable fashion against the Chiefs. Of course, because, when the Chiefs get all these wins and the reps helping them and whatever you want to call it, when we need them to really win one game what we asked, they couldn't do it. They get smacked around against our arch rival. Yeah. So here's to ending that debacle and being done with that, and hopefully better days ahead. But that's all I'm about to say about that, man. But as far as the Knicks, man, I'm going to go with, as you know, play of the game. But, we got to talk about the unsung hero tonight. Josh Hart, the glue of the Knicks, our 90s Knicks. I've said many times on this channel, to me, if he's not the best role player in the league, he is up there top 3 to 5 best role players in the NBA, man. And, if it wasn't such a star-driven league, man, this man should be an all-star. I'm serious. If you watch Josh Hart play night in and night out, and you watch this Knicks team play night in and night out, you know the value and the type of player Josh Hart is. And he showed it tonight. The captain was having an off game, an uncharacteristic off game tonight, cat dominating, but you can't have one guy do it all every night, especially when you're on the road against a solid, good team. And Josh Hart answered the bell tonight. 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. What a performance by Josh Hart tonight, man. And he gets shout out to Josh, man. Played good defense. You know, there was a story before the game that came out that that knee issue that he's been playing with that he doesn't talk much about might need a procedure after the season. You know, he then refuted the report saying, don't believe everything you say, this and that and the third. Listen, we all know the type of gamer Josh Hart is. He plays through things. He gives it all. He leaves his blood, sweat, and tears on the court every game he plays. So there's no doubt that there's something going on with him. He's always playing through things. And I'm glad at the All-Star break coming up after tomorrow, he'll have some time to rest that thing, get ready to go, because this man, he just puts it all out there, man. So shout out to Josh Hart getting it done, stepping up when the team need him on another level. You know, every game, he always has his impact when he does. He usually, when Brunson, when Towns and Bridges and OG is healthy in there, all those guys, he takes a backseat scoring for the team well-being and just becomes a distributor, rebounds the basketball, pushes pace on the break. He does the little things that, you know, rebound. We all know what he does for the man his size, probably the best rebounding guard in the league. You know, hey, tonight he needed his team. The team needed him to step the scoring up. Because, listen, Mikal Bridges, he didn't have a big-time scoring game tonight, okay? He only took like 8 or 9 shots, you know? His primary role tonight, I guess, was focusing on guarding Halliburton, which I thought he did a solid job of, by the way, and especially with OG not out there. But Josh Hart stepped up to score when the team needed it. And a 30-point, his first 30-point game of the season, man. And you know what? The type of season he's having – if he wanted to, he could score more 30-point games the way he can play and plays the game, where he can get down in a fast break, and transition, hit the three. But he doesn't do that. He knows for the well-being of the team, he has to play a certain role and let everyone do what they do and what they pay to do. And tonight, he stepped it up for everyone else that couldn't get that job done, man. So shout out to Josh Hart, my 90s Knick glue, man. Best role player in the league. Stepped up tonight, man. We needed it. Knicks offense tonight was really good, as they usually are when they win their games. 37 team assists, moved the ball well. You know, just a good job out there doing what they do, moving the ball, finding teammates. You know, everybody, I think we have 5 different players, individuals with 5 assists as a team. Beautiful basketball to watch when we play that way. 68 points in the paint, as we usually do. Listen, 10 for 28 from 3 isn't terrible. They shot, but these 3-pointers are not being forced, and that's what I love to see with this Knicks team. If the 3 ain't there, create, take it to the rack, push pace when we are on the break, when we get rebound, get out in transition. They did that tonight. 68 points in the paint, 20 fast break points, and shot 53% overall from the field. Shout out to this Knicks offense and team playing the team collaborative ball, man. You know, they just did a good job. But you know, I gotta talk about this as well before I get to this. The Knicks out-rebounded the Pacers tonight, 48-36, man. And that was a big deal. That was a big deal because Turner wasn't there. He gives some rebounding. He isn't a tremendous rebounder, but he is their big man in the middle. And, they got size on the Pacers when it comes to those things, but when they need it or whatever. But, hey, good job by the Knicks out-rebounding team ball. But a big part of that is Precious Achiuwa, 9 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 12 rebounds. Listen, I don't know if anyone out there has been paying attention, but since Achiuwa's gotten into the lineup, especially since he's been getting into the lineup now that OG's been sitting with resting that foot injury. He has been putting in the work on them double-doubles lately, especially in the rebounding department, man. 12 rebounds tonight, cleaning the glass. Shout out to Precious Achiuwa, man. And this is what he gave us last year when we had a lot of injuries. He came in after the OG trade. He was like he was thought of as the throw-in. You know what I mean? The throwing guy. And hey, he has been a solid bench player for this Knicks team, man. He has really done a good job for this Knicks team since coming back. I was really happy we were able to get him back this year in the offseason, especially after the Cat trade. I was very happy to see we got him back, especially after we lost Hartenstein and we made the Cat trade, I should say. Hey, Precious Achiuwa out there doing what he do, man. Shout out to Precious Achiuwa, BX Burrow, baby. We don't forget the guys. As OG Knicks fans, if you know, you know. If you know the game, we don't forget these guys because this is the DNA of our New York Knicks franchise, man. Toughness, rebound, and defense. Precious Achiuwa brings that every night, especially on a lot of nights where, and looking at the makeup of the roster, you know, the offense is the strong part of this team more than the defense is. We're still trying to get that defense to catch up. And Precious Achiuwa brings just that. Shout out to him. Did a solid job also guarding Siakam tonight. Real good. Let me look at the numbers because, you know, Siakam was solid, but, you know, he didn't really go off like that. You know, he didn't really, because he's a guy, he can hurt you, man. He's a good solid player. You know, 24 points, 9 of 18 from the field, and he didn't go off like that. You know what I mean? He didn't go off like that, 24 points, but it was a quiet 24. You know what I mean? It was a quiet 24. It wasn't like he was hitting big shots and dominating and nothing like that. He got what he got, but I thought Precious and his Knicks defense did a pretty good job on him. And, of course, the best job we did was against Halliburton, held him to only 16 points and 8 assists. You know, he didn't take a lot of shots because the Knicks didn't allow him to take a lot of shots. We didn't allow, you know, the constant dribble penetration and him kicking out, creating threes because, you know, the Pacers are a good offensive team, and when they're right, they push pace. You know what I'm saying? They push pace. They like to get out on the break, shoot, take a lot of three-pointers, and we made sure they didn't do that. We held them to that. They didn't do that, man. They just didn't. You know, they only shot 9 of 31 from 3 tonight. So that's a good job by the Knicks defense, man, tonight. Josh checking in with the Flames. What's good, Josh? Shout out to my homie Josh. I know you're happy about that Knicks wins because I know I am, brother. I mean, we just got to keep building and we getting better with it. But I want to get into this Knicks bench because, like, you know, as I have said many times on this channel, and even with my fellow OG Knicks fan bros that join me from time to time, we've all talked about it. The Knicks bench, there is the Achilles heel of the team. Basically, if you break down the strengths and weaknesses of the team, but they're formidable enough that if they just contribute solid performances, most nights the Knicks will be in games and win games for the most part because of we're so good with our starting lineup with the talent we have there. Well, you know what? Tonight they had a real solid game tonight, especially with the captain having an off game tonight. 35 points. Deuce with 15 points, one of his best games. Let's talk about Deuce too. Deuce has really been playing a lot better and getting his footing and going out there and usually every game we win. Deuce is contributing for that bench, and that is a big time revelation for us and a big time headline news for us because when Deuce is right, our bench is a lot better. Especially, I want to focus on how well he's shooting from 3 lately. It looks like little by little, Deuce is finding his outside shot. Okay, he's hit some good threes tonight, and lately he has been getting it back together, and I like to see that. Go to his stat line real quick. Deuce, because Deuce really played well tonight, I thought, especially in the first half, man. Especially when the first half, when he was kind of scuffling a little bit, trying to find, get through that. He was 4 for 4 from 3-point land. Okay, that's what we need from Deuce. When you come in the game, play solid defense and give us offense, especially from three. He did that tonight. Shout out to Deuce. Keep getting better, dog. We need you, man. Hope maybe that hamstring leg calf issue he's been playing with for most of the first half of the season is starting to get better. And I'm sure the All-Star break is going to do him some good too, with that. And also, Campaign. Listen, Campaign is the backup one on most nights for this team. When Brunson is not in the game. And excuse me, I always talk about that when Brunson is out of the game, and Cat is out of the game. What we get from the bench minute-wise is important, that they don't give up the lead or at least tread water to keep us in the game until our starters are fresh enough to come back in the game. Well, quality game for Campaign. Solid defense, and he distributed 9 points and 8 assists tonight. Shout out to Campaign. Hey, listen, Campaign is the gift and the curse at times on a nightly basis, man. But when he plays well, the Knicks are tough to beat, man. They are tough to beat when he is contributed from that bench. Hit some quality shots at good times. Didn't play erratic. Didn't come play out of control and just kind of forcing things. Took what the Pacers gave him. Pacers are not a strong defensive team like that, and he took what they gave him. Shout out to Campaign stepping up in the minutes without Brunson tonight. 9 points, 8 assists. And how about Landry Shamet? Landry Shamet, ladies and gentlemen, a Landry Shamet sighting tonight. 11 points, hit some trays, especially in the second half. Hey, shout out to Shamet, man. Hopefully he starts to find it, because he has been borderline unplayable the last couple of weeks, man. And actually, when OG was healthy, there was a time where Shamet was not playing. He had some DMPs, found him out of the rotation, and he wasn't giving us anything, man. He was damn near unplayable. So, shout out to him, bro. Shout out to Landry Shamet going out there and making a contribution. Hopefully this sparks something, because I'm sorry, when he comes in the game, it's nothing. He's giving us nothing. Man. So maybe this could spark something, because honestly, this bench, we need it. We need it. The trade deadline is passed. There's no reinforcements coming out that door. The Knicks are against the apron with the cap rules, okay? With the tax with the apron or whatever, for the CBA apron. So they're really restricted on the buyout market as well. They can't sign anybody that has a contract on the books for over $12.8 million. So the cupboard is bare out there in the buyout market for what's out there. So basically, they might add a player sooner or later after March when the deadline goes. We'll see about some transactions. Maybe they'll bring up Warren from the G League because of the rules of the CBA, about him being against the A. Maybe they'll bring him up. Who knows? There's no reinforcements like that coming out here. The team we have is what we have for this year, okay? So we're going to need these guys to step up, and Shamet has to get it together, because he's been unplayable lately. For most of the time, he's been coming back from that shoulder injury. The Knicks have tried to be patient with him because of the shoulder injury he had in training camp. Well, it's time to get going, dog. It's time to get going, because we need you. So hopefully this sparks something. Dan King checking in with the 100%. What's good, Dan? What's good? Shout out to Dan joining the show, bro. For real. We got to do some Met content this weekend, man, for sure. We got to do some Met content. Spring training is on deck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look out for that, bro. We're going to do some things this weekend, man. Spring training pitches and catches is coming through. But yes, 100%. Knicks bench stepped up, and the Knicks needed this win and bounced back from a bad loss against Boston. Corey checking in. What's goody, Corey? Knicks on a roll. Sure, Jalen Brunson wasn't good with 8 points, but the team kept it going with Cat and Josh Hart scoring 70 points in between. Yes, sir. And that's what you need. Cat, this was a Cat game tonight. No doubt about it. This is why we got him, okay, because he is supposed to be an all-NBA player, which he is, a cornerstone of a team, of a winning team, and an all-star starter. Well, he showed why he's an all-star starter. He picked up his team when he needed him, especially when the captain was just off tonight, and he stepped up big time, man. Big time performance from Bodega. Loved it. Loved every moment of it, man, for sure. Dan says, "Yep, definitely great win, but ready for the Mets too." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited for these Mets too, man. Baseball season in general. Man, I can't wait for it to get started. Pitches and catches is already they checking in. Mendoza, our manager, has some nice, interesting comments today. So his first presser of the camp. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yay, man. We need the Knicks and Mets, and for all the Giant fans out there that are Yankee fans, we need our teams to rescue us from this terrible Giant season. So shout out to the Knicks getting a nice win tonight, man, for sure. And yes, baseball season on deck. Let's go Mets, baby. And if for the Yankee fans out there, I guess yes, go Yankees. But y'all, shout out to y'all too, man. We're going to do some things coming up real soon on baseball on this channel. Look out for that because I talk all sports on this channel, and baseball is definitely a big part of that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, good performance by this team tonight. I also wanted to touch on one more thing before we wrap it up tonight. OG Anunoby was a game-time decision before being held out with that mid-foot sprain. I think that is a good sign, a very good sign that OG is getting closer to returning, that they actually decided game-time decision. And thank God, thank God, shout out to the Knicks, training staff, and Tibbs. Thank you. Do not play OG tomorrow night either. Okay, just let the man get this all-star break. It's a good sign that he's getting closer. Hey, don't risk none. Don't risk a re-aggravation. Do not play this man tonight, okay? Tomorrow's the last game before the All-Star break. Just let him sit. So a good sign because we all know the history with OG with his injury situations over the years. When Toronto and last year as well. Hey, don't F around. Just let that man rest. And it's a good sign. I want to touch on that. It's a good sign that he is able to get out there and get close and close to returning. So maybe that's a good thing that maybe the injury isn't as serious as we possibly thought it could have been. So thank God for that. Let that man get his rest and treatment and get ready for the second half. So I would absolutely be shocked if they play him tomorrow night. And I will be pissed off if they do. But hey, let's hope the Knicks keep doing the right thing with that. So before we wrap up tonight's show, next game will be tomorrow night at MSG against the Hawks, against Trae Young and the Hawks. Last game before the All-Star break. It's a back-to-back. We already know how things get tough for the Knicks on back-to-backs. So, hopefully, Brunson being limited tonight could actually be a good thing. Bridges as well, also a good thing. And he'll be ready to go full board tomorrow night. So, let's see if we can get this win, close out the first half, go into the All-Star break with a little momentum, which is what you want to see. And just like I said, just a good win tonight, man. Just a good bounce back win after that big time bad blowout loss against the Celtics Saturday night, where they just toyed with us the whole night. You know what I'm saying? We're just not ready to play a team. We're not ready for the champs right now. We're just not. I want to see how we look when we get a healthy OG and Mitch back, and everybody go on full go all cylinders when we play those elite teams. So let's hope when the second half, when the All-Star break returns, we'll have OG ready and Bigfoot Mitch will be ready to go finally, and we'll see where we go from there. So that's going to wrap up tonight's show. Shout out to everybody joining me on the show. Shout out to the New York Knicks with a nice win tonight. But before I go, I just ask one thing. If you're new to the channel and new to the show, I ask that you like and subscribe to the channel Born for Sports, because I talk all sports. I talk the New York Knicks As you can see, big time Knicks fan. Come on now. You know how we do it. New York forever. The hashtag is for the Knicks, but hey, it's an OG Knicks fan right here, and this is why we call it the OG Knicks fan show. I talk the New York Football Giants, big time Giant fan. Season's over. We gonna get into that soon about the draft, upcoming months. That's down the road. Big time Giant fan. NFL. I talk NFL. I talk baseball. The New York Mets, big time Met fan here. Pitchers and catchers have started. They have reported, and it is about to start. And I can't wait for it to get there. Shout out to baseball season, man. Listen, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So, yes, I talk that as well. I talk it all, man. I talk about any sport you want to talk about, anything you want to talk about in the world of sports, especially New York sports. Shout out to Knicks Nation. Like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Let's go, Knicks.